السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله، وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. يا إخوة الكرام وأخوات السيدات، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى يتقبل منا قيامنا وصيامنا. يا عباد الله، فإن من أفضل الأعمال الصالحة وأجلها عند الله تعالى الصيام، فقد رغب فيه الشرع وحث عليه وجعله أحد أركان الإسلام العظام، وأخبر جل وعلا أنه لا تستغني عنهم الأمم لما فيه من تهذيب الأخلاق وتطهير النفوس وحملها على الصبر. قال تعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. وقال تعالى: وأن تصوموا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. وقال تعالى بعدما ذكر المسارعين إلى الخيرات من الرجال والنساء والصائمين والصائمات والحافظين فروجهم والحافظات والذاكرين الله كثيرا والذاكرات أعد الله لهم مغفرة وأجرا عظيما. فقد رواه البخاري ومسلم في صحيحيهما من حديث أبي سعيد رضي الله عنه قال: قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: ما من عبد يصوم يوما في سبيل الله إلا بعد الله بذلك اليوم وجهه عن النار 70 خريفا. ومن فضائل الصيام يا عباد الله أنه وقاية للعبد من عذاب الله يوم القيامة. فقد رواه الإمام أحمد في مسنده من حديث جابر رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: إنما الصيام جنة، إنما الصيام جنة يستجن بها العبد من النار، هو لي وأنا أجزي به. ومنها يا عباد الله أنه طريق عظيم إلى الجنة. فقد رواه الإمام أحمد في مسنده من حديث أبي أمامة رضي الله عنه قال: أتيت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فقلت: مرني بعمل يدخلني الجنة. فقال: عليك بالصوم فإنه لا عدل له. ثم أتيته ثانية فقال لي: عليك بالصيام. وفي الرواية عباد الله فكان أبو أمامة لا يرى في بيته الدخان نهارا إلا إذا نزل بهم ضيف. وقد رواه البخاري ومسلم في صحيحيهما من حديث سهل بن سعد رضي الله عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: إن في الجنة بابا يقال له الريان، يدخل منه الصائمون يوم القيامة، لا يدخل منه أحد غيرهم. يقال: أين الصائمون؟ يقال: أين الصائمون؟ فيقومون: لا يدخل منه أحد غيرهم، فإذا دخلوا أغلق فلم يدخل منه أحد. ومنها أن الصيام يشفع لصاحبه يوم القيامة. فقد رواه الإمام أحمد في مسنده من حديث عبد الله بن عمرو رضي الله عنهما أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: الصيام والقرآن يشفعان للعبد يوم القيامة. يقول الصيام: إي ربي منعته الطعام والشهوات بالنهار فشفعني فيه. ويقول القرآن: منعته النوم بالليل فشفعني فيه. قال: فيشفعان. ومنها يا عباد الله أن الصائم يوفى أجره بغير حساب، فقد رواه البخاري ومسلم في صحيحيهما من حديث أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: كل عمل ابن آدم يضاعف، الحسن 10 أمثالها إلى 700 ضعف. قال الله عز وجل: إلا الصوم فإنه لي وأنا أجزي به. يضع شهوته وطعامه من أجلي. للصائم فرحتان، فرحة عند فطره وفرحة عند لقاء ربه، ولا خلوف فيه أطيب عند الله من ريح المسك. ومنها يا عباد الله أن من صام رمضان وأدى الفرائض الأخرى كان من الصديقين والشهداء. فقد رواه ابن حبان في صحيح من حديث عمرو بن مرة الجهني قال رضي الله عنه قال: جاء رجل إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال: أرأيت إن شهدت أن لا إله إلا الله وأنك رسول الله وصليت صلوات الخمس وأديت الزكاة وصمت رمضان وقمت، فممن أنا؟ قال: من الصديقين والشهداء. ومنها يا عباد الله أن صيام رمضان يكفر الخطايا والسيئات. فقد رواه البخاري ومسلم في صحيحيهما من حديث أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: من صام رمضان إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه وتوبوا إليه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. Brothers and sisters, one Ramadan can be the difference between paradise and hellfire. The difference between the level you reach in paradise and who enters paradise first. It was narrated by Imam Ahmad in a hadith class as Sahih by Shaykh al-Albani rahimahullah that Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, may Allah be pleased with him, said, 2 men became Muslim with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One of them was martyred and the other remained for another year. So 2 men became Muslim with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One died in the battlefield and the other got to live an extra year after that one died, but died a normal death. Talha ibn Ubaydillah radiallahu anhu said, I was shown paradise in a dream, and in it I saw that the one who was delayed was admitted before the martyr. The one that lived 1 extra year, after the martyr passed away, got to enter Jannah before the martyr. I was surprised by that. So the next morning I told the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam about it. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, أَلَيْسَ قَدْ صَامَ بَعْدَهُ رَمَضَانَ. Did he not fast after he was gone on Ramadan? وَصَلَّ بَعْدَهُ سَنَةً 6,000 رَكَعَةً وَكَذَا رَكَعَةً, and prayed 6,000 units of prayer and such a number of rak'ahs. The prayer is over a year. Look at the difference. One dies as a martyr, and we all know the reward of martyrs. The other one dies a regular death, but just prays 1 Ramadan extra, gets to enter paradise before him. This is the reality of Fadl Ramadan, brothers and sisters. This is the month to do the utmost, that you do your utmost to refrain from sins. Imam al-Awza'i, rahimahullah, said, do not look at how small your sin is, but look at who you're disobeying when you commit that sin. Ibn Mas'ud, radiyallahu anhu, said, Inna al-mu'mina, verily the believer, yara dhunubahu ka'annahu qa'idun tahta jabalin yakhafu an yaqa' alayh. Sees his sins like he is sitting at the foot of a mountain. He fears that this mountain is about to collapse on him. وَإِنَّ الْفَاجِرَ يَرَى ذُنُوبَهُ كَذُبَابٍ. And verily, the criminal sees his sin like a small fly, flying in front of him. مر على أنفه, they go right in front of his nose, فقال به هكذا, and he can just swat it away. That's the difference between the perception of a Muslim, a mu'min. Whenever he commits a sin, he sees it as though he committed the sins the size of a mountain. However, a criminal, no matter how many sins he commits, he thinks it's like a fly that he can just swat away. He sees it as something minor. عن جابر بن سمرة رضي الله عنه قال صعد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم المنبر فقال آمين آمين آمين. It was narrated from Abu Hurairah رضي الله عنه that the Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم ascended the minbar and said آمين آمين آمين. It was said to him, O Messenger of Allah, why did you say that? And why did you say Ameen 3 times? He said, Jibreel alayhi salam came to me and said the following, may Allah rub his nose in the dust. And this is a dua, this is a supplication against that person. May Allah rub his nose in the dust. The person who Ramadan comes and his sins are not forgiven. فَقُلْ آمين فَقُلْتُ آمين. So say Ameen, Ya Muhammad. So I said Ameen. Then he said, Jibreel, may Allah rub his nose in the dust. That person who lives to see his parents grow old, one of them or both of them, but does not enter paradise. Qul Ameen فَقُلْتُ آمين. Say Ameen. So I said Ameen. Then he said, may Allah rub his nose in the dust. That person in whose presence my name is mentioned and he does not send blessings upon me. Allahumma salli wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad. Qul Ameen فَقُلْتُ آمين. Say Ameen. So I said Ameen. Brothers and sisters, know that one of the best deeds and the most beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that of fasting. He has strongly encouraged us to fast, making it one of Islam's 5 pillars, informing us that even the previous nations had been ordered to do the same because of the clear positive effects that it has on people's manner, the purification of the soul, and the increasing patience, to name but a few. Allah says, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. All you who have believed, decreed upon you is fasting as it was decreed upon those that came before you, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, that you may become righteous. Allah says, وَأَن تَصُومُوا خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِن كُنتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. But to fast is best for you if only you knew. After mentioning many of those who strive to do good deeds, Allah says, الصَّائِمُونَ وَالصَّائِمَاتِ. The fasting men and fasting women. The men who guard their private parts and the women who do so. And the men who remember Allah often and the women who do so. For them Allah has prepared forgiveness and a great reward. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiallahu anhu narrated that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, no servant of Allah fasts on a day merely for the sake of Allah, except that Allah pushes the hellfire 70 years away from his face due to him fasting that one day of fasting, 70 years away from Jahannam. Yet another virtue, brothers and sisters, of fasting is that it is one of the biggest roads to paradise. It was narrated by Abu Umama radiallahu anhu, who said, I said, O Messenger of Allah, tell me of an action I should do. He said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, take to fasting, for there is nothing equal to it. فَإِنَّهُ لَا عِدْلَ لَهُ. I came to him a second time. Maybe he's going to tell me of another action that I should do other than fasting. And he said to me, take to fasting, for there is nothing equal to it. And in another narration, it was reported that no cooking smoke would be seen coming out of Abu Umama's house during the day unless he had a guest. The Prophet ﷺ said, there is a gate in paradise called Ar-Rayyan, and those who observe fast will enter through it in the day of resurrection, and none except them will enter through it. It will be said, أَيْنَ الصَّائِمُونَ? Where are those who used to observe the fasts? They will get up, and none except them will enter through it. After the entry, the gate will be closed, and nobody else will be able to enter through it. Brothers and sisters, yet another virtue of fasting is that it will intercede for you in the day of judgment. Abdullah ibn Amr ibn Aus radiallahu anhu said, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Fasting and the Quran will intercede on behalf of the servant in the day of judgment. Fasting will say, Ya Rabbi, my Lord, I have stopped him from eating. But not only that, I have stopped him from eating and seeking his desires during the day. Because you figure, fasting in Ramadan isn't just by you abstaining from food. It's also from abstaining from your desires. So allow me to intercede on his behalf. The Quran will say also, I have prevented him from sleeping during the night. So allow me to intercede in his behalf. And they will be allowed to intercede. Yet another virtue, brothers and sisters, is that the fasting person will enter paradise without being brought to account. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu reported, Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam as saying, every good deed of the son of Adam will be multiplied. A good deed receiving a 10-fold to 700-fold reward. Allah the exalted and majestic has said, with the exception of fasting. For it is done for me, and I will give a reward for it. And the reward for fasting is so huge. Allah has concealed it for you as almost like a surprise for those who have fasted in dunya. For one abandons his passion, but these are the conditions. For one abandons his passions and food for my sake. There are two occasions, brothers and sisters. There are two occasions, this is still the hadith. There are two occasions of joy for one who fasts. Joy when he breaks it. And joy when he meets his Lord. Joy when he breaks his fast, and joy when he meets his Lord. And the breath of an observer of fast is sweeter to Allah than the fragrance of musk. اللهم تقبل منا صيامنا وقيامنا اللهم تقبل منا صيامنا وقيامنا اللهم اجعلنا من الذين يصومون رمضان إيمانا واحتسابا اللهم اعز الاسلام والمسلمين اللهم اعز الاسلام والمسلمين اللهم اعز الاسلام والمسلمين واذل الشرك والمشركين واحمي حوزة الدين وانصر عبادك المسلمين اللهم انك عفو كريم تحب العفو فاعف عنا اللهم انك عفو كريم جواد تحب العفو فاعف عنا يا عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون وأقيموا الصلاة إن الصلاة تنهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر